the Comedy Crossword Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of One Down, the Comedy Crossword Podcast. I'm Brendan Eyre, joined as always by Greg Warren. As you guys know, we take on the New York Times Crossword Puzzles every single day of the week. That's, you know what I mean, Greg? A lot of people don't have that dedication.
They don't, Brendan. They don't. We get right to it, man.
What's going on with you? Update me in your life.
Well, it's interesting you would kick off the podcast that way, because this week I didn't look at every puzzle. I had a busy week. I got back to the road a little bit, and I really didn't take a fair shot at the Saturday and Sunday puzzles.
But, luckily for you, I have a small amount of horrible jokes for those days, so I think we're covered.
I've got some horrible jokes for them. I just didn't
do
the puzzle. Yeah, I just hit solve and looked at the jokes, which is, I'm not proud of that, but sometimes
hey, man. We're podcasters first, crosswords men second. Okay, we have an obligation to deliver to the people what they want.
Yeah, we haven't figured that out yet.
What they want? No. We're delivering them. This is like a package shows up at your door and you go, I didn't order Indian food. I don't like Indian food.
Yeah. Man, which I think would have been a much better title for the podcast. I didn't order Indian food. I don't like any food.
Yeah.
With Greg Warren and Brendan Eyre.
Yeah. I have a bold claim to make that I've thought of as I was doing the puzzles this week.
Oh, yeah?
A bold claim,
okay.
But and I'd like to hear what you think about it. Because I went clean again. I'm on a pretty hot streak, and
one of the best I've ever seen. Yeah.
My times are going down. They're not crazy. They're not like you look up these tournaments, and these guys are just
those guys cheat. They lie.
Well, it's a lot of performance-enhancing drugs. Drugs. But they're doing Saturdays in 4 minutes flat, stuff like that. But I will say this, and I'm not saying my jokes are great. You know what I mean? I'm not saying my jokes on this podcast are great, but the topics are forced upon us. I think I might be the world champ. You know how they used to have chess boxing, where they would do a round of chess and then they'd box.
Yeah.
Were you familiar with that? I think I might be the world champion crossword doer, joke writer about that crossword.
Okay, so I guess you're better than me, is what you're saying.
Well, only because, look, do I lose to you in the joke round? Of course. I think, but I feel that
I didn't say that.
Well, I would say that. I would admit to that. But I think I can beat you. I think I can beat you in the crossword round.
I think we've all.
Not terribly, but I do think I can beat you.
You're a much better crossword solver than I am.
Yeah.
I don't know why you got to keep bringing it up, but.
I didn't. I brought up one thing I thought I might be the world champion of, and you made it about you. I'm
going to give you the floor here, because I think that I can tell you want to say some more things about yourself and about how good you are at crosswords and how much better you are than me. So I'm going to give you the floor, let you just go with it, man.
That was all I had to say, and I thought you might support me. I thought you might say, you know what, we got a world champion on our hands.
If you rewind it, you listen. I did support you. I said you're one of the best crossword solvers I've ever seen, and then you turned it into some sort of an attack on me.
Oh, God, all right.
Monday, man, let's go to Monday.
What if I said no? What if I said, Greg, I want to keep talking about, I don't. Let's go to Monday.
If you said no, everybody knows, everybody knows it's a matter of time before Brendan quits the podcast. We've all, the guys write in all the time, the girls write in all the time and say, Brendan's a baby, he's going to quit anytime. So, yeah, if you said no, we're expecting it. I hope you don't.
Yeah. There is that pool going on when I will quit. Monday, February 22nd. This was a Barbara Lynn. We've worked with Barb quite a few times. The theme, kind of a classic Monday theme, just sort of answers on the same subject. So the subject was pool. You had give me a break, towel rack, on cue, on the ball, and out of pocket. Greg, where do you stand as a poolsman, a billiard player?
I'm not good. I can tell you that.
No.
No. A competitive ping pong player, very competitive ping pong player.
Yeah, you're good. You are. I've seen you play ping pong. Very good.
Competitive air hockey player. Not a great foosball player, and a worse pool player. Pool's probably the worst of the bar games for me.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Take foosball out of the equation. It's a garbage sport because the idea that you're not allowed to spin the guys in the official rules, then why do they spin? Then put a block on the thing. If the guys spin, you should be able to spin the guys. Also, I've seen a guy do a flip in life. So don't tell me the guys can't spin.
Right. You haven't seen three guys flip at exactly the same moment, though.
I will say I have not seen three guys in tandem do 16 lightning fast flips.
Yeah.
But
in place. I mean,
but that's not to say it doesn't happen. That's not to say it doesn't happen. Yeah. 45 across, pieces of evidence in court. That's exhibits. You ever think like a new lawyer that's not very good gets that mixed up? Your Honor, I'd like to introduce Exhibit C into evidence. It's a leg bone of a brontosaurus, and no, it's not museum exhibits, sir. It's not. You're doing the museum exhibit thing. I've seen it a million times.
Teaching.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I had a guy trying to introduce the Mona Lisa into evidence, and this was a jaywalking case.
That's it might find himself over the defendant's table.
He already was. Yeah, he was a jaywalker now. Grand Theft Art.
Okay, it's an acutely good observation right there, Brendan.
Yeah, a little bit too acute.
No,
if you ask me.
49 across, faux fireplace items, gas logs, and both of us live sort of a cush life, really, as far as manual labor and stuff like that. But man, you spend a day out there chopping gas logs, and you'll be thankful that you're a comedian and a podcaster. I'll tell you that right now. You walk in another man's shoes. One time I was out there chopping gas logs with some lumberjacks, and it is tough work, Brendan.
What I hear from and I've never done it. I hear it's just as physically backbreaking as real log chopping, with the added sort of danger of near constant explosions.
Electrocution. It is a tough business.
Yeah,
gas loggers are some of the toughest human beings in the world.
Yeah. Well, the only harder job is the guy that's got to find the gas log tree, because those things are rare.
Yeah, they are.
And we're depleting, though. That's I think Greta Thunberg had something to say about that.
Yeah, she did.
65 across, on-off device. That's a valve. I wrote, Greg, when I was an industrial analyst, I wrote a study for the world market for valves. And I don't know if you ever dealt with this when you were at Procter, but like, I think sometimes when guys spend their whole life doing one thing, it takes on this level of importance in their mind. Like, so I was interviewing this guy that worked at one of the valve companies, and I didn't even ask him a question that would lead to this, and I remember it distinctly. He just says some form of, you take away valves, and this country would fall apart in a day.
I agree with him. With him.
The truth is,
this guy, I'm with him, man.
The truth is, he's right.
That.
We use a lot of valves, but I didn't ask that question. He just was over enthused about.
I love
valves.
this guy, man. I love him, and I should point out for the listeners that don't. Brendan was this guy wrote reports for stuff. I read a couple of them. It's really good work. This guy was one of the most prolific report writers for a good 10-year span there. I think I read your report on bearings, and that was I felt that was some of your best work. Yeah.
Sure,
Brendan
US
wrote a lot of industrial reports. That was his
I was an
side job for a
industrial
while.
analyst, and that. Yep.
I thought you were outstanding at it, man.
Thank you.
32 across emote. Ham it up. That's what that is. That's bad acting, basically.
Sure.
And the casting directors don't care for it in auditions.
No.
And when you know that they really don't care for what you did in there, they referred to. I think I was the first one that they said I was honey baked hamming it up, and it was it was especially bad.
This guy's pulling a Sara Lee honey baked hamming it up right now. I did not know. I will be honest. The New York Times Crossword taught me that emote meant to overdo it.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me what emote meant, I would have said like show emotions. Like I'm trying to be better at emoting.
Well, I think that may be the case. I just think that when it comes to acting,
they use it. Yeah. Okay.
It's indicating. I think is another form of bad acting, or emoting, overacting.
Yeah.
I've done them all. I can read you the list.
I'm actually like an okay actor. I just literally can't remember a line. And I mean, I should say I'm also, when I say okay, I'm not very good, but I'm fine. I just literally, I get so nervous, I can't remember a single line.
Yeah, that's a part of it, man.
Yeah, it's a huge part of it. Huge part. I saw a podcast with Macaulay Culkin, and he literally said, he goes, the only reason I was famous, he goes, you go to Hollywood, there's, 10,000 cute 4-year-olds. I just happen to try and get a 4-year-old to memorize something. Yeah. I just happen to be able to memorize it. And that's why I made it big. He was like, I just was born with, for whatever reason, I could remember lines.
Yeah.
Because he was like, you don't understand, child actors screw up so many takes that it's so frustrating. He was like, I just had this skill where I remembered stuff, and because of that, I worked. It was kind of interesting.
Wow.
67 across, letters on a love letter. That's SWAK, SWAK, sealed with a kiss. Very romantic. I like the sentiment. Doesn't work, Greg. Okay, that letter's going to fall right out of the envelope. You try and seal it with a kiss. All right.
If you French kiss the envelope, I think you're going to.
It doesn't say SWAFK. That's fine. If you're sealing it with a French kiss. I sign all my love letters with SBLTEAAI, which
sealed
of
with
course
a bacon, lettuce, tomato. No, I don't know what.
No, as we all know, sealed by licking the envelope's adhesive as intended, and
that's much more accurate.
Yeah,
slightly less romantic, I think.
Well, before that, I write. I couldn't think of anything romantic.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Something you write something real romantic before that. You
right
say,
before that, and
then I want to give you what's for. and then you go to the end of it.
You thick. And then I move on.
Hey, 5 across in a while. Anon, I don't know that one.
I only know that from crosswords. We've ran into it a few times before. It's a bit of an antiquated term. It's what I would call a crossword word. Okay. And I don't like that because sometimes you need those, but in that case you don't, because that's the abbreviation for anonymous. Any number of ways you could do a clue for that, but anon is kind of like, my understanding from when we looked it up before, it's like a tick or a sec. It's an antiquated word that if someone used in real life, you would say, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm trying to think of something, but it's when people go to Al-Anon, is it just relatives of people with drinking problems that have to wait for a while? Sorry, man, I should have never even. It's an inappropriate thing to talk about, and it's a stupid, horrible joke, and if I could take it back, I would.
Yep, that's what it is. They just stand outside, and you know how it started? This guy named Al, he would show up early every time, and the guy who set up the chairs would say, "Al, Anon!" And that's how they got the name.
28 down. Were you going to move on, or did you have another clue?
No, I wasn't gonna. I was gonna move on. I've got nothing.
Okay, 28 down. Hocus blank. That is Pocus, and that is the Monday clue of the year. That is. It's
nothing has ever followed Hocus.
No, it's not Hocus roast beef. It's not Hocus Johnson.
Yeah,
it's.
That could literally be a screener for aliens. You know what I mean? If we're trying to check if aliens infiltrated the human race, and you want to see, and you're going down the line, like one guy goes, Hocus Aliokus. You go, we got one. Yeah, we got one.
Guy doesn't belong here. And then 38 down, state school southeast of Columbus. In brief, that's Ohio University. I believe it's in Athens, Ohio.
Sure. Yeah,
and this school, I've never been there, but I know when I lived in Cincinnati, there was a time when every year the students would riot. It was either during daylight savings time. I can't remember the fall or the spring, and I can't work out the math. But
sure,
when they lost an hour of drinking, they would throw bricks and riot every year.
It's a huge party school. It's a big time party school. I had a bunch, of course, growing up in Cleveland, I had a bunch of friends that went there. It's a big party school. My dad always brags. My dad went to Wisconsin. That's where him and my mom met. And
another party school, but a really good school too.
Yeah, my dad always brags when he was at Wisconsin. Playboy did a ranking of like the top 20 party schools in the nation, and Wisconsin wasn't on there. And at the bottom of the list, there was an asterisk, and it said, "We've left the Wisconsin off the list as it would be unfair to rank professionals amongst amateurs."
That's great, man.
Yeah. Tuesday, February 23rd. This was Kate Hawkins. I didn't care for the theme. It was potty mouth was the theme. Yeah, I had several toilet themed things. Iron Throne. Elton John, Waterloo, and something head. I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, Deadhead. Yeah. So you had a bunch of names for bathrooms, which is fine. I mean, that's fine for a Tuesday.
Deadhead did 24 Cross. That's, of course, devotee of Jerry Garcia's band, Deadhead.
Sure.
But Deadhead is also a trucking term, Brendan.
Sure.
And you don't want to do that. That's basically like if you got the cab and then you got the trailer on the back, and you take that out to California and you drop off the trailer, and then you got to drive back to where you were.
Money.
And you want to be picking up another trailer to bring back another load, right?
Sure, yeah.
And if you just see a cab driving there, that's money you're losing.
Sure,
that's called deadhead. When I see those guys, I like to honk at them and tell them to roll down the window. I'm like, you forgot the trailer. Forgot the load, man. Go. Hey, you don't have anything behind you.
Hey, buddy, the trailer fell off. Yeah. The trailer fell off, man. You got to go back. I don't know where it is. Here's the thing about these deadheads, you know, and I'm like a rap. I like rap. I like some classic rock. I'm kind of all over the place musically. I wouldn't consider myself like a big jam band guy, but I don't mind. I had friends in college that were into the Grateful Dead, were into Fish. Yeah. I don't mind some of their songs. I'll listen to them, you know, but I'm not a deadhead. But as I understand it, Greg, theoretically, right? The highest level of music, I suppose, is classical music. That's, you know, technically, I suppose, the most challenging and the most revered is what I would say. And so what I don't get, how come you never get like a Berlin Philharmonic head? Do you know what I mean? Like, how come there's never a guy just following them on tour? Just, you know, in the parking lot selling bootleg cassettes of piano concerto number 11. What?
It's expensive for those Philharmonic tickets.
It's a price issue, you're saying?
Well, they all no. Those guys have jobs. I think, you know, they're more educated. They have jobs. The deadheads don't. They don't have jobs.
They just that is their job.
You know, like, hey, you want to go follow the Boston Philharmonic, and they're like, hey, I got to go to work, Terry.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing to bring up.
Also, I will tell you the truth. If you start following those guys around, as opposed to like Fish or the Grateful Dead, you're going to realize, you know what? They don't have that many songs, and not only that, they don't have any originals.
Yeah, they don't write their own stuff.
No, they don't write their. That's the thing. A lot of people don't point out about a Philharmonic or a symphony. They're a cover band.
Yeah, I guess they are in most cases. I mean, when I played in the high school concert band, we never wrote any of our own stuff.
You get any John Sousa in there?
Oh,
John
yeah,
Phillips.
man.
Yeah, of course,
John
you
Phillips,
got to.
Yeah, you got to love a march, man.
Yeah, you got to love a march.
My mom loved the Sousa marches. You know.
Yeah.
I can't. Washington Post March, is that a march? I think that might be my favorite march.
I love a good newspaper march. You know.
Yeah, it's maybe I can't remember the name of it, but anyways. So we'll go back to the trucks. So 68 across, like some truck trailers, tandem, and those also. I would have gone with bicycles if I was going to write that clue, probably, because that's more. You know, a tandem bicycle is a bicycle built for two, right?
Yeah.
And Brendan, I'll tell you, you know, divorce is a tough thing, I think, for everybody involved, and all aspects of it are sad. But there's nothing sadder than when you see a couple breaking up and that final, when they got to saw in half the bicycle built for two. It's just, it's real sad, man.
Well, I've seen the judge do that biblical move, the king, what's his name move, where he goes, all right, we're going to saw the bicycle in half right now. And whichever party says, no, you know what? Don't let the bicycle get hurt. Give it to him. Yeah. She gets the bike because it turns out she loved the bike more. But in the Bible, they did it with a baby.
That's a.
You don't know that story? That's a famous biblical story.
No, you don't have to. Now you're kind of outing me as somebody.
Well, I don't know it either. I can't remember the Bible, king.
But that's not even a good thing. Nobody's going to say saw a baby in half.
Yeah, I mean,
both parents are going to say at the same time, "Don't do it," and then and then you didn't solve anything.
And where is the judge at if both parents go, "All right, go ahead"? Then the judge is up the creek because he's going, "You two idiots."
He would say, "Okay, that didn't work. We're not going to do that."
Yeah, we got to contact Child and Family Services.
Yeah.
The other thing about those tandem trucks. Now, Greg and I travel a lot, and we're out there on the roads of America, and the tandem ones, all right, I don't mind. Get a good driver behind there, fine. It's more efficient. But man, have you seen them? They're doing these three-piecers. Have you seen that?
No.
Yet they're doing 3 trailers, Greg, and that's ridiculous. Get a train at that point, okay? Get a train, because there's tough. No way anyone can handle 3 semi-trailers behind you. That's ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I think the Cannonball Run guy could have. Maybe
him. 36 across. Can you feel the love tonight, singer-composer? That's Elton John. And I was just talking to somebody about this week. Do you know Al Park?
No.
Al Park's a really funny Boston guy. I think he won the Boston comedy competition.
No, Paul Otto won that.
Yeah, it's they have it every year. But I saw Al Park do a joke one time that was about Rocket Man, where Elton John's an astronaut, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a line in that, and I should say I'll butcher. I don't know. I don't remember the joke.
This guy's joke, man.
But the premise alone is funny enough because there's a line in there that's. And all this science I don't understand. It's just my job 5 days a week.
Yeah,
and Al Park's bit was like, hey, man, I don't think you know what an astronaut is. You are not you are not describing an astronaut.
No. That is. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just punching the clock here, man. Don't ask me what's going on around this brig.
Yeah. That's great, man. That's very funny. 30 down Tex-Mex dish served in a soft tortilla. That's fajita, and I would say probably the loudest cuisine, the loudest food item in any cuisine.
Trying to think if I'm not disagreeing. I'm trying to think if anything beats it.
Beat it! I dare. Try.
I don't think so. I mean, that thing is sizzling. They bring that thing out sizzling.
I know this because I worked at the Ha Ha Comedy Club back when I lived in L.A. and they served fajitas, and they'd bring them out, and no matter how much you were killing, it was going to stop your set, man. Everybody's turning to look at the fajitas. It's not a good comedy club menu item.
Yeah, you're just going, hey, who's saying?
Would you shut the food down? I mean, I mean, I had a couple big sets got ruined by the fajitas. They were good too.
Well, now the only thing that I think would go up against it is a trumpet sandwich.
You got anything on Tuesday?
Nah, I'm done with Tuesday. Move on.
Trumpet sandwich.
Yeah. That's what I went with.
Yeah. I'll go to Wednesday. Sorry, man. I can't get the trumpet sandwich. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it anything. That was a set up to fail. You know, that was one of those.
Oh, okay.
This was Andrew J. Reese. I liked this theme.
I didn't get it.
It was Paradox, Paradox was the theme, but it was supposed to be read phonetically as in a pair of docs. And then you had 3 phases with 2 different doctors in circled squares. So you had Devil's Dozen with Evil and OZ.
Dr. Oz.
Circled, so Dr. Evil, Dr. Oz. You had The Whole Truth, Doctor Who, and Dr. Ruth, and Dreadnought, Dr. Dre, and Dr. No.
Okay.
So pretty clever little theme, I thought.
Didn't get that till now. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I've got a little riddle for you. If you'd care for that,
man,
Greg.
Please, yeah.
57 across, birth-related. That's natal, of course.
Okay.
What would you call a woman who's pregnant with a future tennis champion aboard a ship speaking kind of through her nose?
Well, I think you're looking at... say that again.
So you've got a pregnant woman.
Right.
She's pregnant with a future tennis champion.
Yeah.
She's aboard a ship, and she's speaking kind of through her nose.
Is it? Well, it's obviously Rafael Nadal's mom, so it's Rafael Nadal's nasal mother.
Oh yeah, you're right on the. It's a nasal prenatal navel natal. It requires you to mispronounce Nadal, but still, It's a nasal prenatal navel natal.
Okay, that's good. That's a good riddle, man.
Yeah.
I like that better than some of the stuff I found in here. 53 across, elbows and such, pasta. I thought that was a pretty good clue.
Good clue, man.
I'll nominate it.
Yeah, and it's elbow pasta. It goes in, of course, I keep my pasta rankings. And that gets...
what are we at on that right now?
Well, elbow gets thrown in with a lot of stuff, the kind of shaped tube pasta, right, where really your elbow does not get its own category because it's really getting the same surface area. It's a bent penne, really. So, and penne is the
much
top.
Bigger.
No. You all of the pastas come in different gauges, okay, and they're numbered in some sort of strange Italian numbering system, but they have numbers to them. You can get elbow at whatever thickness you want.
I don't think so. I've never seen it.
Tell me what thickness elbow pasta you want. I'll send you a box.
Okay, I want to see an elbow pasta that's as big as penne. I want to see an.
I'll send you a piece of penne pasta and a piece of elbow pasta.
I want a piece. You said a box a second ago, you chiseler. This is just like you.
Okay. Well, no, the pieces are going to be in the box, but I'm going to send you 2 boxes. They're going to be exactly the same, except one's a bent penne.
Okay, I'd like to see.
I had to go to the Italian grocery store for this, though. They're not going to have it at the normal one.
Yeah, man. Give me some other stuff at that Italian grocery store.
Sure, no problem.
Sounds good. I'll move to Thursday.
Hold on, I just want to talk about 20 across. Satanic nickname for the number 13. That's the Devil's Dozen, which I've never heard before.
Neither have I.
Also, that's got to be embarrassing for Satanists sometimes. It's like, I'd like to order a Devil's Dozen. Because, I don't know what that is. Hey, no, I need a devil's dozen of donuts. And he's like, oh, you mean like a baker's dozen? Yeah, okay. Okay, it is the same as a baker's dozen. I call it a devil's dozen. It's like, oh, man.
It's a really good point, obscured a little bit by one of the worst devil impressions I've ever heard.
That's not the devil. That's a Satanist.
Okay.
That's a Satan worshiper. He's a little weird fella. Lives in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah. No. The devil. I got a pretty good devil impersonation. You want to hear that?
Do you?
Yeah. Boy, you think you can play that fiddle? I show you fiddle playing. I came down to Georgia and met you at the crossroads. Played for a fiddle competition. I'm the devil.
No, that's...
I'm the devil.
Yeah, that's...
You ever try one of my eggs? I scramble up the eggs and put them back in the egg.
Yeah.
A devilish deed.
Somehow the devil became Morgan Freeman in Driving Miss Daisy, and a bad Morgan Freeman in Driving Miss Daisy at that. But yeah, man, I appreciate you trying. I applaud, and I I do think it would be. I like that. If the devil came down, it was like a devil's dozen. The guy's like, talking about a baker's dozen. Yeah, I was just hoping that would catch on more. Fine, baker's dozen.
Yeah, I just been trying to push that for a while now. It's like I can't get anything through.
Yeah.
Thursday was a Dylan Schiff. Good little Thursday theme. It was called Double Down, and there were 5 down answers with 3 shaded squares in the answers that had to be repeated for the answer to make sense. I'll give you one example. 6 down was stethoscope detection, and the answer was heart murr, M-U-R, but murr was shaded, so obviously the answer they wanted murr repeated was heart murmur. So three times they did that. Pretty neat, I thought. Pretty good Thursday.
Right? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a good Thursday. Difficult. Probably. I'm going back, but I thought it was the most difficult Wednesday puzzle in several months, and I thought it was a difficult Thursday as well. And I got burnt out because that's all I finished. It. Then Friday was just brutal. Friday was just
Friday was a tough one.
Angry at Friday.
I think Friday was my biggest struggle of the week. I got lucky to get it. 17 to cross on Thursday, Greg. Arizona's blank national forest, parentheses, whose name is Spanish for stupid. And that's Tonto. Now, I knew previous to reading this clue that the Lone Ranger's sidekick was culturally insensitive. I had no idea the degree to which he is. The guy's name was stupid. The guy's name was stupid. Over here, stupid. I need help.
Yeah. I don't remember
That's
Tonto
crazy.
being stupid. I mean,
He wasn't.
He was soft-spoken. I think
He was quiet.
Yeah, I didn't say much. But
He often seemed to be the kind of linchpin of solving the
insightful, if
problem.
anything,
Yeah.
from what and I haven't seen the show in a long time, but I'd say he's far from stupid.
No. But someone must have known that meant stupid when they wrote that show.
You would think, yeah. They did, or they didn't, and then it was too late, and they're like, "We're just gonna have to go with it, man. We've spent a lot of money on this, 25 across, collaborator on 1968's two virgins, familiarly. That's Yoko, and I am going to pronounce the Yoko Ono has got more press in the New York Times crossword puzzle since I've been doing them than anybody, and she's the least deserving of those people.
Yeah.
She is a clue 500 times more than John Lennon.
I'd say 10,000 times.
10,000
I've never
times.
seen John Lennon. I've never seen a single one of the Beatles.
Just knock it off with Yoko. Just knock it off.
And for once, and we've talked about this before, for once, because you keep having to try and dig around for some different clue, for once just say, she wrecked the Beatles.
Yeah.
Then I might respect it, for once.
Yeah, they never do say that, do they?
They never say that.
Dig up all the stuff that she collaborated on.
Yeah. 29 down, closer's specialty, and that's sales. Greg, I don't know if you know this. When I was a blank white label salesman, first ever real job, I wasn't a closer.
No.
I was what they called an opener.
Yeah.
I never got past my opening line. Not once. The guy would hang up on me every single time.
Yeah.
And then I just took to, because they didn't listen to your calls. They just counted how many you made a day. So I just hang up as soon as they said hello. Wasn't a great time for me.
No, and I would say that's not a very good opener either. I mean,
horrible opener.
Yeah.
Horrible opener. Now you were more of a closer. You were a guy. You could close
I don't
deal.
know if I was. I mean, it was a different kind of sales because they had to do business with us.
Right.
But you're evaluated on how much volume you built over a long period of time. So it's not whether they carried Pringles. It was how many Pringles they bought over that year and summarily sold. You develop long-term relationships with the customers.
Oh, this is something I was reading about, aside from the crossword puzzle, that I wanted to bring up with you. I had no idea about this, and you would know this obviously much more than me. From a revenue standpoint, PepsiCo is twice as big as Coca-Cola. Nearly.
That would probably be because of Frito-Lay, I would imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They got Frito-Lay, they got Quaker, they have a couple other food
Gatorade,
brands.
yeah.
Yeah, and I had no idea. And I didn't realize, I knew Coke owned a lot of stuff, but Coke exclusively operates in the beverage business. Now they own a ton of beverages, but there's no food, nothing. And whereas Pepsi is pretty diversified.
Yeah, Frito-Lay, I would say, is a giant part of their profits. Yeah.
Oh, huge. Yeah. I mean, and because Doritos are the number one chip in much of the U.S.,
Doritos are?
Yeah. Dorito. It's interesting. I had a chart for top.
You're saying Doritos is bigger than Lay's?
Yeah, in some parts of the U.S. I found a chart recently of the top chip in each state, and Doritos was big in a lot of places. And you know what else was bigger than Lay's, which this blew my mind? Cheetos. People love Cheetos in some states.
I think you got a hold of some bad data.
Could be. I mean, I think it was one of those like no, actually it was 538. It was Nate Silver's website. So I do think it was legitimate.
Read it on the bathroom wall somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll look into it. I mean, I'll take your word for it, but it doesn't.
Well, get back to me on it because I trust you when it comes to chip news.
As soon as you send me that elbow pasta. 64 down, Hostess blank balls, and those are Sno-Balls, SNO.
Sure.
Brendan, do you think there's any artificial flavorings or colors in those things?
No, those are natural. They
They
grow in the tropics.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I
think there might be more chemicals in a Hostess Sno-Ball than anything.
Oh God, man, I can't imagine any. I mean, there might be more chemicals in a Hostess Sno-Ball than there is in a can of spray paint.
I would say maybe in an oil refinery. Galveston. Yeah.
Oh no! We got a fire outside city limits. Don't tell me. Don't tell me it's at the nuclear processing plant. No, it's worse. It's worse. I wish it was a nuclear meltdown. It's at the Sno-Ball factory.
Oh boy, that's trouble.
Yeah. Friday, February 26th. This was a Chuck Diodine. I'd like to nominate 14 across, Good as Gold, and others, errata, as the clue of the week, because that is very clever, I thought, and very hard to get. But once you get it, it was a legitimate good clue.
So they're saying that Good as Gold is an error or is wrong?
Yes, a common typo would be to hit the L instead of the O because it's right there. So you write instead of good, you'd write gold. So they're tricking you into thinking the phrase good as gold, but they're saying you typed good as gold. It's therefore errata, which is a fancy word for a typo.
But what is it supposed to be?
So they're saying you've written good as gold instead of good.
Oh, God, you got to be. No, I'm not supporting
okay.
this.
Not clue of the week.
No.
Got it. All right.
That is just such a weaselly crossword.
Okay, how about this one then?
Nope.
Oh, that's not. I don't even have that. Yeah, no, that was one I hated. Never mind.
I hate it. I hate that. Maybe because I just didn't get it. But 41 across, and I'm doing a lot of complaining today, and especially on this Friday puzzle. Just 41 across, Mauna blank Loa. Just a tip for anybody that's doing crossword puzzles. If you see Mauna, Mauna blank, it could be any three letters in the English. They do more versions of this Mauna whatever. They got nothing, man.
They gotta pick one because I think there's 4 or 5. I don't know. We see Kia, and it's like enough, man. We know. Oh God, I couldn't agree more. When I see Mauna, it's the biggest trap. They're just trying to. You've just riled me. You've riled me.
Good, man. I was hoping you'd be with me on this.
Well, how about this? 31 across. One who might meet with angels, for short. CEO. Man, that's a stretch, okay?
Oh, they're talking about investors?
I get that, but you don't call an angel investor just an angel.
Yeah.
That's that nobody's going, the angels are coming in today. If anything, make it a Los Angeles angel, okay, if you want to do a stretch to that point. But an angel investor is not known as just an angel. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think that's they're playing with us here.
Yeah, I'm with you. 36 down, equatorial plantation crop. That's cacao. I don't have a joke there. I just wanted to say cacao.
Hey, Greg. What do you grow, man?
Cacao.
That's awesome. That's really cool. How are the crops coming in this year?
Oh, real nice, man. Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
Wow, that's awesome.
The cacao is up to here.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow, that's big. Wow, that's some big cacao. 60 across. How many Amish barns are raised in one day?
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
But these guys are so arrogant about that. You see them, they're going over their non-Amish neighbors. Wow, Gary, that's been working on that barn for a while now.
Yeah.
I put mine up on a Thursday. Had time for a picnic around lunchtime. It's like your whole crew helped you.
Yeah, you had 700 people working on it.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, enough with this one day. And, and the other thing is I saw an Amish kid throw a rock at a gorilla at the zoo when I was 10, and that was the only Amish person I had ever seen to that point, so I just thought that's what they were about. So that one kid kind of stymied my whole view of the Amish, and then I later learned that probably was just a jerk.
Seems a little unfair to judge the whole...
yeah, exactly. And I learned that later, but that was the only one I ever knew, and he threw a rock at a gorilla.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's fair to judge their whole culture.
No, and I wouldn't, didn't have it since.
I'd love to support you on that, but.
Well, no, I've learned. I've since learned.
Cacao.
I've since learned they're electricity disdaining barn braggers, but
they are barn braggers, aren't they?
Yeah.
That bunch of barn braggers.
Yeah.
27 down. Lovely blank you. Song by the Moody Blues. Lovely to see you. And Brendan, I like the Moody Blues now as an adult. My mother was a big Moody Blues fan. And there's this one record when they just stop and start talking in the middle of the song. And when I was a child, it scared the living bejesus out of me every time. I would just scream like, Mom, where are you? Like, my mom would put that on when she was cleaning or something, and it would just breathe deep. And it terrified me.
Yeah. I always wanted to do a sketch of a song that's just like when I was growing up in the 90s, all these R&B groups like Boys to Men and stuff, they had the one deep voice guy that just would talk at the beginning of the song. He'd just be like, girl, when I look into your eyes, I feel like the whole world. And I just wanted to do a sketch of a group that was just 5 of those guys, so they would never sing. It would just be them going back and forth.
Just talking? Yeah.
Oh, none of us sing. This isn't good. We got 5 of the beginning talkers on one band.
We should have thought of this.
Yeah.
As long as we're here, let's finish out the recording.
Yeah, girl, we did pay for the studio time. Might as well make a track.
They should have got that deep voice guy from the Oak Ridge Boys to talk on one of those things, man. That guy's
yeah, like a very deep voice. Or I don't know if you ever watched. Probably this. You weren't young enough, but the a cappella group that sang the intro to "Where in the World Is Carmen Sandiego," the game show. Man, that guy was. It would go, "Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?" I mean, this guy was
way
below
audible. Yeah.
I mean, he was below audible hearing. You had to put on special ear goggles for that.
Ear goggles, okay.
Headphones, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
One having a 16 across, one having a certain video chat. That's a Skyper. And that's going to be the big news, Greg, for anyone who's been stuck on a desert island for the past year.
Yeah.
Is going to be, A, there's been a global pandemic. B, don't even bring up Skype, okay?
Skype's,
Because Skype is dead, baby.
Yeah.
Long live Zoom.
Yeah.
We're all Zooming now, okay?
Skype.
Everyone's Zooming. It's a Zoom world.
Yeah, Skype. That was Skype. Skype CEO is hanging out with the Tom from MySpace, I think. And,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Saturday.
You want to get to Saturday was a Jacob Jonas
Yeah.
themeless 35 across, Greg, in the cloud, say, and that's stored.
Yeah.
And I tried to fit stored with absolutely no way of knowing what's in there or getting it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand it.
The cloud takes stuff from my phone. I can't look at what's in there, and I don't. It's always full, and it's just taking whatever it wants.
Yeah, I don't know. I if my computer breaks, the cloud better back me up. That's all I'm saying. Because I've paid for extra storage, and the cloud had better be there for me. I don't know if
The cloud won't be there, man. It's a cloud. It's gone with the wind, dog. You're paying for nothing. That thing's a con man. The cloud. Yeah. All right, sure, my photos are in the cloud.
10A, a couple of dollars. L's, what's that mean?
Their classic wordplay. A couple of dollars. There's two L's in the middle of dollars.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. All right,
Yeah,
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Should have saw that.
56 down.
In all defense, man, I really didn't do the Saturday puzzle.
Yeah, that's not
or the
your
Sunday
problem.
puzzle. I just sort of was running through trying to find a couple of jokes.
Yeah,
but
no problem.
And I apologize to listeners. You know, normally I'm going to take a shot at every puzzle, but every now and then I just time sort of.
Hey, man, these guys get it. You know, I mean, it's the New York Times, man. This is the real deal. All right, and for us to do this every day when we hold down strenuous jobs such as stand-up comedians, it's they should really be lauding us.
Listen, we're not gas loggers, okay? That's,
56 down. What comes before old age? The answer is ripe, as in ripe old age. I love old people. My grandpa Jerry was like my best friend. I think old people are really should be venerated. But ripe old age is an interesting term, Greg, because if we're gonna do a fruit analogy for life, do you know what I mean? Like, if we are being honest here, they're past the best by date. You know what I mean? It's like you can still eat them, but they're not ripe.
you're real close. You're coming real close to calling old people rotten, and I'm not going to be a part of it.
I'm not calling them rotten.
You are.
I said you can still eat them. I said you can still eat them. I said you could still eat them.
You are.
I said they're past the best by date.
There's like between ripe and rotten, there's a day in there, man.
That's where they're living, man. That's where they're living. You're ripe, okay? You're ripe. I'm still green. I'm a green banana, years ahead of me.
24 across Stingray feature. That's T-top. And Brendan, from here on out, if I say the word T-top, I'm going to say it like T-tops, man.
I got a T-top, man.
T-tops, man. I got a Camaro and it's got T-tops, brother.
I got me one of them new Stingrays with a T-top. Gonna try and ass out some high school girls.
Yeah, man.
32 down. How about this for a clue of the week? Props of sorts. And they were tees. Took me a second to understand that. Golf tees propping up the ball.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a very clever clue.
Sure, man.
All right, well then, Jacob Jonas, we're giving it to you. Because that's the spirit. This is a thing that's never been said at a Bob Dylan concert, but my harmonica is broken. So I apologize, Jacob Jonas. I think I spit too much in it because I don't know how to play it properly, and now the low note sounds screwy. So I got to take it to a guy or something.
Jacob understands, man.
Yeah. 21 across, Greg. Moves like a butterfly. That's flits, and that's true, but floats is better. You know, if Muhammad Ali said... flit like a butterfly, sting like a bee. They'd say, wait, did you say flit, man? You're flitting in there? No, no, what? No, I'm float.
Of course, Brendan does have the Muhammad Ali poster behind him.
He's a hero of mine. Yeah, I do much. I really like Muhammad Ali as a person and an athlete.
Yeah.
I loved his relationship with Howard Cosell. I found that to be
Did he have a similar relationship with the one that he had with Howard Cosell?
Shut up. Why don't you
What do you think about CACAO?
Is it Cosell?
I'm not going to take it. Yes.
Some people say Cosell.
This is Howard Cosell.
Oh, yeah.
Funny story about Howard Cosell. Apparently one time, I think he was in the Bronx or Queens or something in a limo. And there was these two guys on the corner at a stop sign. And the two guys on the corner, they were fighting. He got out and started to call the fight. Clearly, the smaller man does not have a chance against the big fellow. He's outmanned, outreached. And the guys kind of like stopped and they said, "Hey, man, that's Howard Cosell."
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
He was, all those interviews he did with Ali were so funny, man.
Yeah.
And then behind the scenes, he would kind of counsel Muhammad Ali on his career and like who to trust and not to trust. Like, it was a pretty cool relationship, man.
Yeah.
Let's check out Sunday, February 28th. This was a Brad Wayman. Man, I did not care for this theme too much, Greg. It was the title of the puzzle was
the nudie thing or something.
Yeah, it was crossword buff, and it was just a bunch of nudist puns. I just give
I liked
you
your
one,
whole naval Rafael Nadal thing much better.
Yeah, so for one example, a clue: leadership style of the nudist club president that's barely managing. So it was a bunch of naked puns, which for a Sunday, I mean, throw that on a Tuesday, man.
Yeah,
throw that on a
exactly.
Tuesday.
Have a little, show a little reverence, a little respect for a Sunday puzzle.
Yeah.
72 down, Nellie's Love in South Pacific. That's Emil, and it. I think that was one of my favorite love stories of any Broadway. This was it was a film, right? Is it?
Yeah, it may have. I only know it as a film. It may have originally been a Broadway play. I
love it. It's when Nellie and Emil first to get together. Of course, it's the South Pacific, so Nellie wants to sort of seduce Emil and starts singing. It's getting hot in here. Take my Nellie from my hometown.
Yeah, Nellie. We had I do another podcast on this very network called the Rad Dudecast. I think I've told you this. So one of Nellie's proteges was also from your hometown, Chingy.
Chingy went to McClure North High School, same as Kathleen Madigan, a fantastic comedian.
And Chingy had a couple hits, and his manager contacted us, and we're 99% certain he just contacted the wrong podcast.
Right.
Because we're not a music podcast, we're not huge, and we don't have guests, but we immediately said yes. And we had Chingy on an episode, and he was the best,
I bet he was great, man.
He was awesome. The guy had all these great stories. He was so cool, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He was so cool. Now, 60 across, Greg, I got a question for you. Times, as in Times Magazine, Times Person of the Century. Einstein.
Yep.
Now, I like Albert Einstein. Seems like a good-natured fella and obviously a genius. But was he? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know enough to know, was his stuff used for anything, or was it just theoretical?
I would have gone with Colonel Sanders, but
well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I know you're joking, but what I'm getting at is like, you're talking person of the century, most impact on the century. Hitler, it had more impact than Einstein.
Don't make him the person of the century.
Well, they're not saying the best person. They're saying who dominated the century in such a way.
Yeah, it's a dumb argument.
Muhammad Ali should be the person of the century.
Yeah.
I just think
I'd go with Einstein over Muhammad Ali.
Well, what I don't know about Einstein, and this is my own ignorance, and that's why I'm asking.
You don't even know how to pronounce Howard Cosell.
that is true. What I don't know about Einstein is, did we use any of that stuff? Or was it just like theoretical? Like, did it help with, make a better anything?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, well then, person of the year.
Yeah.
Stand corrected. I take it away from Hitler. I take it away from Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, he shouldn't get that. Shouldn't get anything.
No, he shouldn't get anything. I agree. But, I mean, the guy was impactful, to say the least.
96 across, sensitive subject, sore point, and I was trying to think of a sensitive subject, and, of course, I'm going to have to go back to when you were in that Jenny Craig text group with your friends. And
Why did you bring this up? It wasn't Jenny Craig. It was Weight Watchers, and a guy called me fat in it, man. So I just left. I didn't make a big deal. I just left the group, and you bring it up a million times since then.
I rest my case. Sensitive subject.
Why would you bring that up? It wasn't Jenny Craig, man. And there's nothing wrong with being in Weight Watchers. And man,
I don't think there is, but you seem to get all upset about it every time I bring it up.
Because you keep bringing it up, and I don't like it.
I don't know.
Now, 88 across. Taco Bell slogan. That's Live
man,
Moss.
I gotta come clean on something.
Yeah.
I really don't know if we use that stuff that Einstein's did anyway. I was just saying that we did.
I know, Greg. I know you were. It's okay. Hey man, I took anything I could to get out of that thing I said about Hitler, making Hitler the guy.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's how
I just
we're on
thought
Sunday. You want to go out like that?
Well, what I was thinking when I said Hitler, let me explain. Obviously, person of the century I interpret as who had the most impact on the century, and that evil son of a gun, I'll say it, evil son of a bitch, was, shaped World War II, a piece of garbage that he was. So, to name him person of the century, if you're talking purely about impact, I think is legitimate, but he doesn't deserve anything. Don't get me wrong. Don't misinterpret what I meant.
I don't know what you were saying there. Something about
Okay, that's fine. 88 across, Taco Bell slogan. That's Live Moss.
Live Moss.
It's funny that their slogan is the exact opposite of what you'll do if you eat their food.
Yeah, that's true, man. You
will live less.
Maybe they're saying, you'll live more just in a shorter period of time.
Yeah. Your life will be more, but not in terms of years.
I can't help but thinking of the famous boxer Roberto Duran, Hands of Stone, because I see that boxing picture behind you. He's when he was fighting who was it? Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
He said, no Moss.
No Moss. No Moss. Very famous line. My dad liked to tell me that story.
No Moss. Yeah, our wrestling coach told us that story. Yeah. No Moss.
Yeah. I don't really know why. It's like in a sport like boxing, that shouldn't be seen as a stain on him. Like, if you're clearly beaten, don't go back out. Your head's gonna get destroyed.
Sorry, man. Just distracted for a second.
No problem. No reason to listen.
That's wrong, man. It's wrong that I did this. It's rude, and I apologize. And I'll atone for it however you want, man.
Let me off the hook with sending you that pasta.
Fine.
All right, nice.
I don't really eat pasta anyways. It's fine. We're even.
Yeah, great. We're even. That's gonna do it.
I apologize to the listeners. I just got distracted. I had a thing happen.
What happened?
Nothing. Just
all right.
Somebody texted me that I felt like
anything
doesn't
good?
normally text me, and I was like, it's not emergency, but I was like, I should text.
Yeah, of course, man. You got to check things out. I'm trying to think, man. If there's anything else I wanted to tell you while I have you here, I think we should just take this podcast more in the direction of just a phone call between the two of us.
Why?
I don't know. It's fun. I like talking to you.
Well, I enjoy talking to you too, but I mean, you don't like the structure of doing the crossword puzzles and
things I like
that
too. But I'm saying when it's over, I don't want to go. I want to just see
just
what's
say
going
goodbye.
On.
Yeah.
No. I don't want to say goodbye. I want to see. Just keep this up.
Oh, okay.
I'm enjoying myself very much.
I don't know, to be honest with you, man. I enjoy talking to you on the phone too. But usually it's the last 3 or 4 minutes. I could cut them off.
All right, we'll get you guys next week. That's been one down. Make sure you subscribe, rate, review. I'll do all that stuff, and we really do appreciate you guys listening.
I do want to say Brendan is is the best crossword puzzle solver that I know, and I'd put him up against any of these guys. These guys that say they can do it fast. I think Brendan.
I can't because I've seen their times, but
given the right amount of training, I think that you can beat them.
You missed my point. Is that if there was a combined
I know
event,
your point. Your point was that you're the funniest guy on the podcast.
Man,
I got it.
That's
man.
the end of the podcast. The podcast is over.
One Down is hosted by Greg Warren and Brendan Eyre. Produced and edited by John Baldwin. Our theme song is written and performed by Henry Phillips. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcasts.
One Down, the comedy crossword podcast.